What's up? This is Adam.
This is Kevin from Rebel Inc. and you're watching Welcome to the D.
Welcome to the D! Welcome to the D!
On this episode of Welcome to the D, we're at the Crowfoot Ballroom in Pontiac, Michigan to interview the up-and-coming metal band Rebel Inc., whose album Soundtrack to the Revolution earned the honor of Best Metal Album of 2012 by VH1's That Metal Show. Alright guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
First things first, why don't you guys get us up to speed on how you guys got started and where you're at right now in your career?
Well, we got started actually here in the Detroit area about 10 years ago. Kevin and I started writing music together, and then back in 2006 or something like that, Kevin moved out to Baltimore, Maryland to take a new job, and about a year and a half later, our drummer moved out there, and 2 years later or so, I moved out there, and we started the band full bore. And we've been making a lot of headway, playing for a lot of national bands, and touring around the country independently, and having a lot of success. So it's been a lot of good things for Rebel Inc. on the road.
Now you guys are obviously a politically charged band, and a lot of times lyrics can be misinterpreted in that. Why don't you guys tell us really what you're about politically? What do you guys really stand for?
We're actually an apolitical band. We actually promote people thinking for themselves, to start questioning the systems that they've been brought up in, to just see through the right-left paradigm and start seeing the world as it is, look for alternative sources, and to always be asking questions. That's the main message, is for people to just start thinking, promoting critical thinking, and just analyze the world around it for what it is, and not just take in information and roll with it.
Yeah, Kevin pretty much hit it on the head. We need people to start using their own brains. Everybody gets information from magazines, television stations, newspapers, and they take everything as truth. Nobody questions whether or not it's real. They just assume that it is because it's coming through a major media news source. So definitely promote people getting alternative media to see different sides of different stories, or to even possibly find the truth in a cloud of lies. So.
you guys have also played at a number of military bases. How are you taking over there, seeing that your lyrics are, got some political punch to them?
Well, we did that in 2008, and we were all scared, actually, to be honest with you, because we didn't know how the troops were going to take it. This is active duty and veterans in the most deployed military bases in the country. But the reality of it was we were overwhelmingly positive with all response and feedback. We had resistance at the beginning of every show that we played with, whether it be military police or local police or fire department trying to shut down the show. But eventually we played the show. The troops loved it, and we only encountered one problem with a guy that flipped us off. And then we had a whole platoon come over afterwards and said, if that guy comes in here again, like, we're going to take him down. We're like, whoa, like, that's one of their own guys, so, but it was a positive response, and it seemed like people knew what we were talking about.
And I think one thing that we learned from that was the struggles that veterans go through on a day-to-day basis, being removed from the war, and the fact that a lot of these veterans feel the same way, but they feel isolated because they don't really know that other people feel the same way. And the Iraq Veterans Against War, who sponsored the tour, is an outreach program for veterans. And right now we're losing veterans at a rate of 22 per day due to suicide. And you really got to think about that number and let it hit you and see that, what's going on. These people really do need help, and just to blanket with medication isn't necessarily the answer. People need to talk about what's going on, and what we did on that tour really promoted an outreach program for veterans to seek help.
And I applaud you guys on that, because I totally agree. I think a lot of veterans are not taken care of properly. To be honest with you, there's a lot of guys that do a lot of great things for this country that are not appreciated, and we need to look out for them. Yep. Now, when you guys started, were you more united and was the music first, or were the politics first?
The music was first, actually. We were writing a completely different style of music before we started writing this style of music. And as we grew and evolved as people, like Kevin was saying, like we started becoming critical thinkers and questioning these authorities and these stories, and the mass media and propaganda, and awakening to little things one by one, and it sparked the change of the music of what we were writing into a new music, a music that was conscious and angry and passionate and raw, which was different than what we were writing before, because we were in a different stage in our lives, and then we hit this new stage, and once you're awake and once you're in the rabbit hole, like, there's no turning back. I mean, if you have a heart and you care and you give a damn, the only thing you can do is just keep going further down the rabbit hole and trying to find the truth and help make positive change.
Yeah, and I think that's the correct way for this to happen, because at the end of the day, we are a rock band, and people really connect with the music. We find people that don't even care what the message is about. They don't even really care what lyrics are about. They like the way the guitar sounds. So they like the band, they want to support the band. Some people are the complete opposite. And we've even found people that follow us on social media that were never political, they never really thought critically, and then now you see them posting about events that they see us following. So they're starting to awaken in their mind. But at the end of the day, it's a rock band.
got to say that I really love about what you guys are doing. I always felt like Rage Against the Machine was here at the wrong time, if that sounds funny. They were here during a time when everybody was getting these loans and driving an SUV and getting a massive house, and they were talking politics when nobody really cared about it. And again, a lot of things I disagreed with politically that they talk about, I didn't like. I like the fact that you guys are more about the free thinker, question things kind of guys, not like you're anarchists or something like that. But what I like is you're at a time when this place, I mean, the whole country, the world is politically charged. So it's great to see you guys out there spreading your message.
Well, that and ultimately, I mean, the music's also anti-oppression, you know, being anti-oppressed, and I think that every person on the planet can relate to an oppression of some sort, whether it be from a father figure, authoritative figure, family member, school teacher, police officer, military. A lot of people have felt that oppression in several different ways, so I think that helps people relate to all the messages inside the music as well.
Well, I agree that the time is now, and what we found on this journey so far is that we don't really know what the demographic of this band is. We've played in a house of Vietnam veterans, and that you would think we're just going to be too loud, we're going to scare them right out of the room. But the truth is, no, they stuck around. They were fist pumping during the show. They were buying merchandise at the end of the show, and we see parents with kids that identify with the music as well. So you know it's hitting something with people, but definitely the time is now. I think that more than now you see people that identify with the anger that the band brings, because people are angry at all sorts of things. Like right now, healthcare is a popular issue. Obviously war that we've been in for the last 12, 13 years. But you start to see people now find that, you know, that they're not happy where they sit politically.
So now, your song "Killing the Future" was on the compilation with Tom Morello and a bunch of other national acts. First of all, how cool was that? How excited were you guys? And have you ever met Tom Morello and talked to him about anything?
It was beyond cool. We're honored to be a part of that. I mean, just the theme, and then once again that went to the Veterans Outreach Program as well. But I actually did meet Tom Morello at a show that he did in Philadelphia, and I gave him a demo CD. And I never heard anything back, but it was a really cool moment. He took the time to talk to me and just tell me to keep pursuing the dreams.
I didn't get to meet Tom Morello, but being on that album and helping raise money for civsoul.org, which again, Kevin said is a veteran outreach program, like it was an honor to be a part of it. Rise Against was also on it, which was super cool, and just honored to be a part of such a great album.
Now, do you guys ever worry about getting like blacklisted at all in the music community or anything because of your political views? Because there's a lot of people that are really afraid to step out there and say what they really believe. I mean, you see bands, they mention one or two things, all of a sudden, you know, there's a big protest at their shows. You guys ever worry about that?
I think we're going to wear it like a badge of honor, honestly. I think it's the true stamp. Right now, I mean, if your name's not on a list, you're just following orders. You're just following in line. And to me, it's nothing I'm afraid of. There's a corporate cage that we live in a government cage that we live in. And if we don't want to see what's on the outside, then we're just going to fall in line and be vanilla. But it's time to ruffle some feathers right now and get your name on that list and wear it like a badge of honor.
I couldn't have said that better myself.
All right, now congratulations on your album Soundtrack to the Revolution being recognized as the #1 metal album of 2012 by VH1, that metal show. First of all, how did you get that into their hands? And, you know, have you seen him I heard that he was at the show last night. Is that true?
That's you.
Yeah, Jim Florentine from that metal show named our latest album Best Metal Album of 2012, which blew us away. I mean, there were huge bands on that list. And for him to pick us, I mean, we recorded that in a basement studio. I mean, it's of quality, but I mean, the truth is, this isn't Rick Rubin producing, you know, our album. This is something we did ourselves. We produced it ourselves. So it's amazing for that to happen. But we were on the Bubba Army, Bubba the Love Sponge down in Tampa, and through that network, when Jim came on the show, somebody played our music for him during the break thinking that he would like it, and sure enough, he took his headphones off in the middle of it and asked who was this, and the guy was ready with a burnt CD. And it was about 2 weeks later I got an online order notification from a James Florentine from New Jersey, and I couldn't believe it at first, but sure enough, it was actually Jim Florentine, and then that's where it led from there.
Yeah, we've been really lucky ever since that moment. Jim wore the Rebel Inc. T-shirt on an episode of the show, and then earlier this summer, I think it was an episode in June, he took the album on the show and named it a featured pick of the week. So we've been making fans from all over the country that are like, I found you guys through Jim Florentine, you know. And then he recently played "Killing the Future" on Sirius XM through his podcast. So it's the cool thing is he just does this all himself. He's like, I'm a fan of the music and I want to help you guys spread the music and the message. So we're very lucky to have his support.
Now, Adam, you got such a powerful vocal style. I mean, you're in the people's face, and I was used to wonder, like, you have like that Zach De La Roca style. How do you keep your voice from getting blown out? I've always wondered that, you know, because I've seen like Zach, sometimes he's screaming in a concert and he's got a concert the next day. Right. Anything special you do to actually make it through that?
Well, the more we tour and the more that we play, actually the better my throat. Actually, I get conditioned for it. But there's times, obviously, you know, certain weather may be, allergies or whatever, you know, the throat gets dried out, or for whatever reason I do blow my voice out, like hot tea, lemon, and honey is pretty much a regimen that has worked every time so far. So, oh, and Guinness works really good too. So I'll be using that on stage.
And let me stress too that he doesn't use any vocal effects. He's a microphone and a cable right into the PA system every single night too. So, and this is what you hear is raw and real.
All right, now I'm going to paint you a scenario here. You guys might run into this situation because you're on the way up. You might get some offers, some major labels. So, A, do you stay completely independent and do what you're doing and work your way underground to continue your success? Or B, do you accept the criticism like that Rage Against the Machine got, railing against the man, but working for Sony? I know it's a tough question. I know it's sometimes hard to answer till you cross that road, but you tell me.
You obviously have to take every deal and look at, you know, what the details are, but I can't imagine that this band would accept anything that's going to silence us or put us in that cage. That's number one. We live this, we feel it. When we're on stage, you'll be able to see the passion that comes out because this is real. It's not phony in any way. So I can't imagine that any of us would be having fun and that would still be displayed if we were censored in any sort of way. But like I said, it's hard to do this independent, but it's also rewarding at the same time. But like I said, every step's going to have to be judged on what it is at that time.
I know that's a tough one. I guess you could always look at it like this. You're using them to be your springboard and your forum to even make your message even louder. So there's two ways of looking at that.
Just like social media, it's a way of them monitoring and controlling and watching behavior patterns, but the truth is there's a lot of benefit that the message can spread through that controlled avenue. So I see a lot of similarities in what you're talking about.
All right, we're about to take a look at the Burn video. Why don't you guys tell us something about that?
Well, it's our first music video. We met a good friend through a band that we met named Political Animals up in Connecticut. The gentleman's name is Edwin Escobar, He did some other music videos that we thought were awesome, and he became a fan of our music and a fan of the band, and finally got to put together a date with him and put together a concept and idea, and we worked really well together. And I mean, it was a new experience for everybody because we've never shot a music video before, because we're not really Hollywood type guys, you know. But it turned out really good, professional, and we're stoked about it. It's been getting a lot of good feedback.
And like we talked earlier in the interview, that how we promote free thinking. This video, I think when you watch it, it'll jump out at you. Somebody playing over different ideas in their mind and finding out that, you know what, I can be that change, and I can make that change right now. I don't have to rely on other people. I can change my life for the better right now, and we can start a positive difference.
Yep, and you can check out the new video, Burn, right here.
Set the This nation's fire is set, nothing can stop us now. Burn! 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 Burn to the ground!
Now this one's for Kevin. So Kevin, who were your influences growing up? I mean, there's always that one guy that just really gets you fired up about starting playing guitar. For me, it was seeing Stevie Ray Vaughan at Meadowbrook. I mean, who's that one guy? I know you must like Morello a little bit because I'm seeing the Tellys, I'm seeing the Marshalls, but who really got you started?
I was actually influenced a lot by MC5. So yeah, Kramer, obviously, but I'm a big Motown guy, honestly, and classic rock. But this is gonna blow your mind. Probably the person I studied most was David Gilmour. When I pick up my guitar, I play blues scales for the most part. I like those like one-note solos that can sound like 100 notes. I have a Fender Strat at home with lace sensors that's pretty much David Gilmour's guitar. But even though the music I write is a little bit angrier, there are a lot of political messages in Pink Floyd's music. But it's just in a different in different music though. But that was really my biggest influence.
All right, now every band has that infamous moment on stage. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you guys playing live?
I think the worst thing that's happened on a stage didn't actually happen to us. I mean, I think we had some things cut out or something like that, but it's probably the people in the mosh pit that get like thrown over onto the stage, and then like they're laying all over like Kevin's pedals or jump box or whatever, but their body's all bent like in a pretzel in certain directions. But other than that, I mean, we experience pretty much the normal stuff on stage. You know, cables go out time to time, or a pedal clips out, or drummer drops a drumstick, or whatever it may be. You know, but we've been fortunate to run into very few psychos at the stage, and more or less just people that want to mosh and fall all over the place.
I guess the worst one that's happened to me was just because I do background vocals and play guitar, and I've had people run into the stage and had a microphone go into my mouth, and I thought it was going to blow my teeth out, which luckily didn't happen. But I think we've been very fortunate. We've had a lot of positive responses, you know, to our music and our show.
So for a band starting out, I mean, you know and I know now with all the tools that are available to everybody to record, there's, you know, a million types of music out there on the internet. How does a band really get noticed? I mean, what do you guys think? What's been your favorite social media way of getting some notice for your band?
I don't know if there is a favorite social media way. Really, it's kind of like a fly being attracted to the light. Like, you just have to pour work into it. But not only do you have to pour work into it, if you have money for advertising, and that could be advertising business cards, extra demo CDs or whatever it may be, local music papers, you know, anything that you can do to help promote the band, get stickers made up, pass out stickers for free, go to other shows in town and hand out CDs. I mean, there's a million different ways to do it. You can't just sit on Facebook or Twitter and grow your fan base immensely. You know, you have to get out and meet real people, and then you have to play shows and get people to your shows, and you got to show them the product in a CD or, you know, an MP3, and then you got to show them a live show product. So being in a band that's really trying to do something is a lifestyle. It's not just a, hey, I'm going to kind of do this. It's you have to put everything into it all the time, because every second you're not doing something is kind of a second that you're wasting.
All right, have you guys got any favorite cities or favorite venues you like to play in?
I'm not going to say necessarily a favorite venue, but my favorite place to play has been West Virginia. Every time we stop in West Virginia, it doesn't matter what city, we seem to have a great following, people that give us great feedback, a positive energy, and they make us feel at home. And then, of course, I mean, Baltimore and Detroit, I mean, they're like, it's like we have 3 homes, you know, and we're working on building more, because when you're an out-of-towner and you come somewhere, like, what do you want? You want to feel at ease and feel comfortable. But Detroit area, Baltimore, and then everywhere in West Virginia have a lot of love for us, and we have a lot of love for them. So love playing those places.
I have to say Michigan. We've played. This will be our second time in Pontiac. We've played Ferndale. We've played in Hamtramck, and just just our family's here. We have so many friends here. It's always something special. The shows seem to be very, very positive, and just leaves you with a good feeling that you have people that support you from a long way. I mean, it was a big step to move to Baltimore for one, and then to start a band and be on tour all the time, and just to come home and have family say, you know what, we really like what you're doing. That's huge. I mean, this business will kick you down anywhere it can, but to have your family and your inner circle supporting you, that's what we get when we come back here.
Feels awesome.
All right, where can we find you guys online?
The best place for everything is rebelincmusic.com. That's rebelincmusic.com. We have links to our Twitter, to our Facebook, to our YouTube, everything up there. I think you can sign up on the fan email list so you can catch when we're coming to your town. You can also download the music directly from the website. You can buy hard copies of the album, bumper stickers, t-shirts, hooded sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff, and it gets packaged up by us, sent out by us, because that's how the underground rolls. And we're also on iTunes, Amazon MP3, CD Baby, and for people with like the Xbox Marketplace, you can go to Zune, download the music, Pandora Radio, all kinds of places. So, but rebelincmusic.com, check it out and download some music today. Awesome.
Guys, just want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out to hang with us. We wish you guys the best of luck and commend you on what you're doing.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys have a great show tonight.
We'll do our best.
Once again, that's Rebel Inc.
From D-Town to your town, we're coming your way. When you see the D fly, you better cheer the brave. Welcome to the king that's crowned. We're from Detroit City, we're